Hey, hang on. Listen. You hear that? That right there? Yeah. That was an appeal to some normative standard. I have some expectations of how you will respond based on shared language, shared culture, and far more complicated structures surrounding language and human communication. But the gist of it is this, that I had some idea or some expectation of triggers or switches or levers that I can pull to get a response from you. And I seek to get the response that I want. In this particular case, I want your attention. I want you to think about these ideas. I want you to think about what I'm saying. And I want you to consider it in the context of the points that you raise. That's coercion. That is coercion. That is a degree of coercion which we view as acceptable. One could even say necessary. That level of coercion is vital and irreplaceable in the conveyance of ideas and in the establishment of a rapport or shared understanding from which we can both act. But it is coercion. I am trying to exert rhetorical force to direct you in a particular direction. This is one of the problems with your objection to advertising. Now, before I get into my objections, I'll say that I agree on a great many points. I view most advertising as highly destructive, if only in the degree to which we have become accustomed to the very curious and in many cases highly emotionally toxic messages and appealed associations that many advertisers rely upon. Some of my favorites, car commercials. Watching car commercials with an eye for concept association. What does the advertiser want me to associate with these images, and what are the two things that they're trying to tie together? What is the thing of value that I am being asked to associate with this product? Keeping that in mind, car commercials can be very disturbing. Car commercials can be profoundly disturbing, and I watch it. I watch it with an old, with the glee, a glee well cultivated by a sizable Vincent Price collection. Um, so I agree. I agree with some of the sentiment that you express. The problem is that these lines are very, very difficult to draw because right now, I am coercing you. Now, whether you view that as an acceptable degree of coercion, that's another matter entirely. But I am coercing you, and doing so using devices very similar to those employed in advertising. Doing so in very similar styles, using very similar postures. Certainly, the presentation is not nearly as sophisticated, but the ways in which I try to catch your attention and to direct your attention towards association between one concept and another, things that you hold valuable to things that I want you to hold valuable. There are similarities, and the bottom line is that all communication functions in that way to some degree. When we try to just draw a line and say here it is acceptable, here it is not, we are making statements about our cultural values. Where we put those arbitrary lines is ultimately what defines us as a culture, and how we contextualize that arbitrariness in a way where we can say that within the paradigm of our culture, within the set of things that our culture believes to be true, the things that we just take as true, because we have to have some starting point, and we have chosen these ones. The decision of where we put a cutoff line is more of a statement of who we want to be than it is a statement of anything innate, than it is a statement of what things are. So let's first be aware of what we are doing when we start talking about this should be illegal. This has no place in our society. I would like to see I would like to see us in a society where advertising is viewed as extremely distasteful, where there is social sanction against it. But I have to be cautious in so advocating, because honestly, I do not have a clear solution to propose for what that society would look like. This is one thread which we seek to pluck as if it is unconnected to others. It is one thread that we want to pull out, that we want to yank out of the fabric of our society, of our culture, and be done with it. But we don't really know what it's attached to. And to be perfectly frank, I think that question merits far more public attention and far more focused inquiry than it has thus far been given. But again, even that call to attention on this issue is a statement of cultural value and, to some degree, coercive.